Hi, I'm Heidi Nord with the Brilliant Dyslexic, and thanks so much for coming to this next sound juggling video. Letters, I want you to not worry about those right now. We're just going to process some sounds. I want you to hear the sounds, to see the sounds, to touch the sounds in the air as we go along, and to say the sounds. Let's start. Here is p, e, st, east, priest. In priest, what if I take off the s? Then you have e, t, preet. Here is k, a, m, p, k, a, m. In clump, what if I take off the o? Then you're left with k, a, m, kump. Here is b, o, a, n, t, bunt. In blunt, what if I take off the b? Then you're left with o, a, n, t, lunt. Here is k, a, n, ch, unch. In crunch, what if I take off the n? Then you're left with k, a, ch, crutch. Here is d, e, n, k, ink. In drink, what if I take off the k? Then you're left with d, e, n, dring. Here is k, a, st, ust. In crust, what if I take off the k? Then you're left with a, st, rust. This one is g, a, m, p, ump. In grump, what if I take off the Then you are left with g, a, m, p, gump. Here is sk, a, n, skunk. In skunk, what if I take off the s? Then you're left with k, a, n, kunk. Here is a, st, thrust. In thrust, what if I take off the last t? Then you're left with a, s, thrust. Here is k, e, st, k, e, st. In crest, what if I take off the s? Then you're left with k, t, cret. Here is t, a, n, k, unk. Trunk. In trunk, what if I take off the n? Then you're left with t, a, k, truck. Here is st, a, n, t, stunt. In stunt, what if I take off the t? Then you're left with s, a, n, t, sunt. Here is s, l, a, m, p. S, l, In slump, what if I take off the m? Then you're left with s, l, a, p, slup. This one is t, a, st, ust. In trust, what if I take off the t? Then you have t, s, trust. Here is b, l, n, d. Blend. In blend, what if I take off the first b? Then you're left with l, n, d. Lend. Here is k, p, t. Ept. In crept, what if I take off the k? Then you're left with ept, rept. Here is st, a, m, p, stamp. In stamp, what if I take off the t? Then you're left with s, a, m, p, samp. This is d, ench, drench. Drench. In drench, what if I take off the n? Then you are left with dretch, dretch. Here is spent, spent, spent. In spent, what if I take off the t? Then you're left with spen. Here is quest. In quest, what if I take off the w? Then you're left with kest. Here is est. Impressed, what if I take off the Then you're left with pest. Here is spend, spend. In spend, what if I take off the p? Then you're left with send, send. Here is pledged, pledged. In pledged, what if I take off the j? Then you're left with pled. Here is sketched. In sketched, what if I take off the ch? Then you're left with sket. Here is isp. In crisp, what if I take off the Then you're left with kisp. Thank you so much for coming to the sound juggling lesson. I hope all of you have a really great day. Bye.